students, today we are going to start a new chapter of your physics book, that is heat, chapter number 5, and this is day 1 of this chapter. Let us discuss various objectives of this chapter. In this chapter you will learn about heat as a form of energy and its units, joule and calorie. Then different units of temperature, that is degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. You will learn about effects of heat, change in temperature, change in size, change in state, good conductors, bad conductors of heat and their examples. Then choice of conductors and insulators in day-to-day life. Then you will learn about methods of transfer of heat, that is conduction, convection and radiation. And at last, we will learn about thermos flask, which is an application of heat transfer. Students, today we will learn topic number 5.1, that is flow of heat. Topic number 5.2, factors on which heat required to raise the temperature of a body depends. And topic number 5.3, units of measurement of heat energy. First of all, let us discuss what is the meaning of heat energy. Students, it is a form of energy which gives us a sensation of hotness or coldness of an object. Now you may wonder that how can it give sensation of coldness? Yes students, it is true. Heat energy gives us sensation of hotness or coldness of an object. If a body is hot, it means it has more heat energy. But if a body is cold, it means that amount of heat energy is very less in that object. Students, let us discuss the flow of heat. When two objects are kept in contact, what will happen? The heat energy will flow from the object which is at higher temperature to the object which is at lower temperature. So always remember that heat flows from the object at higher temperature to the object at lower temperature. For example, when you touch an ice cube, what do you feel? Your fingertip becomes cold, right? But why does this happen? See, your finger is at higher temperature as compared to the ice cube, right? So, heat flows from your fingertip to the ice cube. It means that your fingertip is losing heat energy. That is why it feels cold. Now, let us read from the book for better understanding. Flow of heat. Heat is a form of energy which flows from a body at a higher temperature to a body at a lower temperature. Have you ever watched an ice cube melt on a hot sidewalk? Heat is being transferred from the sidewalk into the ice cube, which causes molecules inside the ice crystals to break apart and turn into liquid water. Students, we know that when a solid gains heat energy, what happens? Its molecules start vibrating fast, they move apart from each other and it changes into liquid state. When you touch an ice cube, you feel cold. This is due to the fact that heat from your hand, which is at higher temperature, flows into the ice cube, which is at lower temperature. Also, when you put your hand into warm water, you feel warm. Why? Because heat flows from the warm water into your hand, because the water is at higher temperature than your hand. So always remember that heat flows from the object which is at higher temperature to the object which is at lower temperature. Or simply we can say it flows from hot object to the cold object. In physics, the term heat refers to energy in transit from one body to other because of the temperature difference, never to the amount of energy contained within a system. Students, no matter how much heat energy is present in the object, heat transfer is based upon the temperature difference between two objects. If one object is at higher temperature than the other, and when they are brought in contact with each other, there will always be flow of heat from hot object to the cold object. Let us discuss various factors on which heat required to raise the temperature of a body depends. Number 1 is mass of the body. Then rise in the temperature and the nature of the substance of which the body is made. Let us discuss these factors one by one. First, mass of the body. Students, for making 1 cup of tea, less heat energy is required. But if you want to make more tea, let's say 3 cups of tea, it is obvious that more time will be taken and more heat energy is required. So, amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of an object depends upon its mass. More the mass of an object, more is the heat energy required to raise its temperature. Next factor is rise in temperature. Students, suppose we are heating water in 2 different beakers. We have 100 ml of water in beaker A and 100 ml of water in beaker B. Suppose we want to raise the temperature of water in beaker A to 40 degrees Celsius and in beaker B, we want to raise the temperature of water to 60 degrees Celsius. Initially, their temperature is same, that is 20 degrees Celsius. Now, in which case there is more rise in temperature? In beaker A, we are raising the temperature from 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So, rise in temperature is 40 minus 20, that is 20 degrees Celsius. In beaker B, we are raising the temperature of water from 20 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. So, 60 minus 20, that is rise in temperature is 40 degrees Celsius. So, in which case more heat energy is required? Obviously, where the rise in temperature is more, that is 40 degrees Celsius in beaker B. So, more the rise in temperature, more is the heat energy required. Next factor is nature of the object. Students, different materials heat up at different rates. For example, gold heats up about 7 times faster than aluminium. It means that very less amount of heat energy is required to raise the temperature of gold from 20 degrees Celsius to 90 degrees Celsius. But very large amount of heat energy is required to raise the temperature of same amount of aluminium from 20 degrees Celsius to 90 degrees Celsius. Students, let's read from the book for better understanding. Factors on which heat required to raise the temperature of a body depends. The quantity of heat Q, students, capital Q is used to represent the quantity of heat required to increase the temperature of a mass m of a certain material is found to be approximately proportional to the temperature change. It is also proportional to mass m of the material. When you are heating water to make tea, you need twice as much heat for 2 cups as for 1. It means more the mass of the object, more is the heat energy required. The quantity of heat needed also depends upon nature of material. Raising the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius requires 4190 joules of heat. But only 910 joules of heat energy is required to raise the temperature of 1 kilograms of aluminium by 1 degree Celsius. So it is pretty much sure that amount of heat required to raise the temperature of an object depends upon its material. Let us discuss units of heat energy. Students, always remember SI unit of heat is joule. There is another unit of heat which is calorie. How can we define a calorie? It is defined as amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. That is by 1 degree Celsius. But why this temperature range is taken? Students, below 14 degrees Celsius, water shows non-uniform contraction and expansion. So scientists have taken this temperature range in the definition of calorie for more accuracy. Another unit is kilocalorie. It is defined as amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kilograms of water from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. Earlier definition, that is calorie, that is amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 grams of water. But kilocalorie is defined as amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 kilogram of water. This is the difference. Rest of the definition is same. Students, unit calorie is related to joule, which is SI unit, as 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 joules, which is approximately equals to 4.2 joules. You need to learn this relation. 1 calorie is approximately equal to 4.2 joules. Let's read from the book for better understanding. Units of measurement of heat energy. We can define a unit of quantity of heat based on the temperature changes of some specific material, most of the times water. Students, this definition also is taken in terms of water only. Calorie. The calorie is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree Celsius. You have to write this temperature range from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. And why this temperature range is taken, I have already explained, because below 14 degrees Celsius, water shows non-uniform contraction and expansion. So, for more accuracy, scientists have taken this temperature range. Next is kilocalorie, which is same as calorie, but the difference is the amount of water. In calorie, amount of water is taken as 1 gram. In kilocalorie, the amount of water is taken as 1 kilogram. Rest of the definition is same. Let's read once. The kilocalorie is defined as amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water through 1 degree Celsius from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degree Celsius. And 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 calories. Next is joule, which is an SI unit of heat energy. Students, always remember, joule is also SI unit of work. But it was not until the times of James Joule that the relationship between energy in the form of work and energy in the form of heat was firmly established. It was James Joule who established the relationship between work and energy. Joule's experiments revealed that the performance of mechanical work can make the temperature of a substance rise, just as the absorption of heat can. So his experiments and those of later workers have shown that 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 joule. Because of its historical significance, this conversion factor is known as mechanical equivalent of heat. Students, you must be able to answer all these questions. Define heat. Discuss factors on which the heat required to raise the temperature of a body depends. Write down various units of heat. Define calorie and kilocalorie. And last, what is the relation between joule and calorie? Note down all these questions and revise them properly. Thank you.